This story is about this dog here. We are going to see the world through the eyes of a dog. We're going to see the world through a dog's perspective. So this story is about life through a dog's perspective. So the dog is in his dog bed. He's got a little blue dog bed on the floor. And his owner, the dog's owner, this guy is sitting on the edge of the bed and he's checking his phone. Here there's a wardrobe where you can put your clothes. There's a lamp. There's a drawer here. Anyway, the guy walks out of the room and he's scratching his butt. See? You see this? He's scratching his butt as he leaves the room. So as he leaves the room, he scratches his butt. Of course, the man doesn't care about doing this in front of his dog because he knows that the dog is not going to judge him for doing this. The dog is not going to judge him for scratching his butt. Now it's breakfast time and the guy is eating and drinking something, and the dog can smell what he's eating because dogs have an incredible sense of smell. They have a really good sense of smell, and the dog can smell that he's eating a fried egg. He can smell that fried egg coming from his breakfast. And then the guy cuts off a little piece of fried egg and he gives it to him. He gives the little piece of fried egg to the dog. And the dog eats it happily. He eats it very happily. Later on, it's time for his walk. The guy is walking the dog. And he is holding a leash. There's a dog leash here. The dog can smell something on this post. So there's a post here. He can smell some urine. There is some urine on this post, some pee. Yes, some dog pee, some dog's urine. And because the dog's sense of smell is so good, he can smell which dog urinated on this post. He can smell who urinated on the post. The dog knows because his sense of smell is so good. He knows which dog peed on the post. And then he sees a dog down there. Maybe it's the same dog that urinated on the post. I think it is. I think it's the same dog. And the dog, also on a leash, starts barking from the end of the street. And then this dog starts barking as well. He's barking. He's giving threats to the other dog. Yeah, he's threatening. He's threatening the dog. He is almost saying, if you come near me, I'm going to kill you, right? I'm going to attack you if you come near me. And so he's threatening the other dog. These are sort of threats to the other dog. And the owner, the guy, is clutching onto the leash like this. He's clutching onto it. He has to clutch onto the leash to try and keep the dog under control. So he's got both hands around it, clutching onto the leash because the dog is very angry and is trying to attack the other dog at the end of the street. Later on in the day, the guy starts doing some cooking. And again, the dog can smell what he's cooking. The dog can smell that there is meat. He can smell the meat. He can smell the scent. The dog can smell the scent of the meat coming from here. And so the guy cuts off a little piece, cuts off a piece, and then gives it to the dog. He feeds the dog. So he cuts off a piece and he feeds the dog like this. And the dog eats the piece of meat very happily. The dog is very happy to eat the meat. And then it's time for his proper dinner, the proper dinner, you know. So the dog, this is a dog bowl, and the dog can smell the scent. He can smell the scent of the food coming from the dog bowl. And then the man puts the dog bowl onto the floor, and the dog can start eating. Now, I don't think this is normal dog food. I don't think it's dog food. I think the dog is eating his leftovers, right? I think these are leftovers. This is all of the food that the guy did not eat himself. All of the food he did not eat. Everything, all the food that is left after his dinner. So I think these are just leftovers. So he's given the dog some leftovers to eat for his dinner. And the dog's happy about this. He is sticking out his tongue. You can see that this is his tongue. And the dog is sticking out his tongue because he has had a delicious meal to eat. And then his mate comes over. So this is the guy's mate. See, he lets him in. So he opens the door and lets him in. Yes, he lets him in. And so his mate, his friend, his mate. And the dog is happy to see him. The dog's tail is wagging. The dog's tail is wagging here. The dog's tail is wagging because he's excited to see his friend, his mate. And so the dog goes over and sniffs. He sniffs the man's hands like this. And because the dog's sense of smell is so incredible, the dog can smell which dog this man has been touching with his hands. He can smell that it's this dog. He can smell which dog has been touching, this guy has been touching. And then, as the friend sits on the sofa, the dog starts sniffing his shoes. And again, the dog can smell the scent. He can smell the scent of grass. The dog knows that the guy has been walking on grass. So he can smell that when he sniffs the shoes. Yeah. The two of them start talking. They start having a conversation. But obviously, the dog can't understand any of it because it's human language, right? They're talking human language, not dog language. So the dog can't understand anything that they're saying. To the dog, this is just gobbledygook, right? It's just complete gobbledygook. He has no idea what they're saying. They're saying something, but he doesn't know what it is. It's just complete gobbledygook. He has no idea. It's just blah, 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 like that. It's just gobbledygook. He has no idea what the hell they're talking about. What the hell are they talking about? I have no idea. It's just absolute gobbledygook to him. The dog doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. And so the dog goes over to the cat, and maybe he wants to play with the cat a little bit, but the cat is not in the mood to play. The cat's not in the mood to play, so the cat scratches the dog, or the cat tries to scratch the dog with his claws. So the cat has some claws here, and the cat tries to scratch the dog with his claws. Yeah, sharp claws. He has very sharp claws that can scratch you. Later that day, it's a time for another walk, and the man is holding the leash, again, holding this leash. And the dog comes across something strange on the path. On the path, the dog comes across a little creature. What is this strange green little creature that the dog has found here. Of course, it's a frog. The dog has found a little frog. But the dog is confused. He does not know what this little creature is. And the dog kind of is interested in this frog, this little green creature, this frog, and he wants to play with the frog. It's interesting. But the frog hops away. Bong, bong, bong. The frog sort of hops away, and the frog hops into the bush. Right into the bush. There, this is the bush. The frog hops away and jumps into the bush. And the dog goes over to sniff to see where the frog has gone. I don't think that the dog wanted to eat the frog. I don't think so. The dog didn't want to eat the frog. I think the dog was just a bit curious. Just a bit curious, you know. The dog is thinking, what is this little thing? What is this little creature? The dog's just a little bit curious to find out what is this little green thing. At the end of the day, the dog is lying with his head on the man's lap. So the dog's on the man's lap down here, this area, right on his lap. The cat is sitting on top of the sofa, relaxing. And everybody is in bed. And at the end of the day, the dog is thinking about everything that happened during the day. He's thinking about the fried egg that he smelt at breakfast and the fried egg that he ate at breakfast. You know, the one he smelt. And then the man gave him a piece of fried egg, remember? So the dog smelt the fried egg and the man gave him a piece of it. The dog is thinking about that. He's also thinking about that other dog that he had a fight with earlier in the day. Do you remember the one? He smelt the urine, which was on the pole, and then he started barking and threatening, giving threats to the dog. He's also thinking about the cat. If you remember, he tried to play with the cat, but the cat scratched him or tried to scratch him with its claws, with its sharp claws. He's thinking about that. And finally, he's thinking about that little green creature that he came across on the path in the park here. So he's thinking about all these things as he goes to bed and as he goes to sleep. This is the world through a dog's perspective. This is how a dog sees the world. It's interesting to think about the world through a dog's eyes. What does the world look like through a dog's eyes? Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Hello guys. If you want more videos, go to EnglishSponge.com. On the website, you will find videos from many different teachers, some British teachers and some American teachers. The videos are organized by level A1, A2, B1 and B2, so you can choose which level you want to listen to. So, go to EnglishSponge.com. The link is in the description of the video.